Welcome to Visions of Valyria. Did you know that a single decision could have prevented the War of the Five Kings? It's true. If Ned Stark had chosen trial by combat instead of confessing, the entire landscape of Westeros would have shifted dramatically. But who would have fought for Ned? And more importantly, could they have defeated the Mountain? The answer might surprise you, and it's just the beginning of how this one choice could have changed everything. The epic showdown, Ser Barristan versus the Mountain. When Ned Stark demands trial by combat, everyone's shocked, but they're even more surprised when Ser Barristan steps forward as his champion. Now you might be thinking, how can an older knight like Barristan stand a chance against the Mountain? And it's a fair question. The Mountain is known for his brutal strength and size. He's like a human battering ram, but Ser Barristan? He's got something the Mountain doesn't, skill and experience. Let's break it down. The Mountain relies on brute force. He's all about overpowering his opponents. Ser Barristan, on the other hand, is a master swordsman. He's got technique, strategy, and years of combat experience. It's like comparing a sledgehammer to a scalpel. Both can be deadly, but in very different ways. We've seen similar matchups in Westerosi history. Remember the fight between Oberyn Martell and the Mountain? Oberyn almost won with his speed and skill. Now imagine that same fight, but with one of the most skilled knights in the Seven Kingdoms. The fight begins and the crowd goes silent. The Mountain charges, swinging his massive sword. But Barristan, he moves like water, dodging and weaving. His blade flashes in the sunlight, finding gaps in the Mountain's armor. It's a dance of death, and Ser Barristan is leading. So who wins? It's close, but my money is on Ser Barristan. His skill and experience give him the edge. He'd wear down the Mountain, using his opponent's size against him. In the end, Barristan's sword would find its mark and the Mountain would fall. But here's the thing, this fight is just the beginning. Ned Stark walking free? That changes everything. The Lannisters lose their grip on power. The North rises earlier than expected. And the whole Game of Thrones? It's suddenly got new players and new rules. What do you think would happen next? Would Ned expose Cersei's secrets? Would Robb still become king in the North? The possibilities are endless, and each one could lead to a completely different Westeros. It's wild to think how one decision, one fight, could reshape an entire kingdom. The North rises, Robb's early rebellion. You know how they say the North remembers? Well, in this scenario, the North isn't just remembering, it's about to make everyone else remember too. With Ned Stark free and heading back to Winterfell, we're looking at a rebellion that could start way sooner than anyone thought possible. But how does having both Ned and Robb change the game? And what unexpected twists could throw even their best laid plans into chaos? Let's picture Ned Stark riding through the gates of Winterfell. The first thing he does? He calls all the Northern Lords together and drops a bombshell, Cersei's crimes and Joffrey's true parentage. Can you imagine the uproar? The North would be ready for war in a heartbeat. Now we've got Ned and Robb working together. That's a powerful combo. Ned's got all that experience from Robert's rebellion and Robb's got that young fire. They'd be planning strategies, rallying troops, and getting ready for a fight like the North's never seen before. But it's not just about the Starks. What about their allies? The Riverlands would probably jump in quick. Catelyn's family ties would see to that. And the Vale? Well, that's a big question mark. Lysa Arryn's always been a wild card, but with Ned alive and well, she might just bring the Knights of the Vale into the fray. Meanwhile, down in King's Landing, Tywin Lannister's got to be sweating. He's used to being 10 steps ahead, but now he's scrambling. The Lannisters are caught with their pants down, and they've got to react fast or risk losing everything they fought for. So how does Robb's campaign change with Ned by his side? For one, we'd probably see smarter, more strategic moves. Ned knows the importance of alliances, of holding the North. They might focus on fortifying Moat Cailin, making sure the Lannisters can't push north. And with Ned's connections, who knows? Maybe we'd see some unexpected allies joining the cause. But here's the thing, even with all this planning, all this strategy, There's a twist coming that no one sees, not even Ned Stark. What could it be? A betrayal from within? A new player entering the game? Or maybe something from beyond the wall that makes all these southern squabbles seem small? What do you think this twist could be? How would you play it if you were Ned and Robb? Let us know in the comments, we're dying to hear your theories. Before we dive into how these twists reshape the fate of Westeros, I have a small request. If you're enjoying this journey through a reimagined Game of Thrones, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Visions of Valyria. We're a new channel dedicated to exploring the untold what-ifs of this epic saga. Your support means the world to us and helps us build an incredible community of fans and theorists. It costs you nothing, but makes a huge difference to us. Is it done? Great, thank you so much. Now let's get back to the unfolding drama. A Tale of Two Sisters, Sansa and Arya's new paths. Everyone's focused on the men of House Stark, but what about the women? Sansa and Arya's fates hang in the balance, and their choices could reshape the future of Westeros. How different would these sisters become with Ned still in the picture? With Ned Stark alive and victorious, Sansa's story takes a dramatic turn. She's no longer a hostage in King's Landing, but that doesn't mean she's out of the game. Instead of learning from Cersei Lannister, Sansa gets to study under her father. Can you imagine the difference? Ned's honor and strategy versus Cersei's manipulation and deceit. It's night and day. Sansa might develop into a formidable leader in the north. She's always been smarter than people give her credit for, and with Ned's guidance, she could become a real force to be reckoned with. We might see her negotiating alliances, managing Winterfell, or even advising Robb on political matters. It's a far cry from the scared girl we saw in King's Landing, right? But what about Arya? In this new timeline, she's still missing. Does she end up training with the Faceless Men? Or does her path lead her somewhere entirely different? Maybe she becomes a scout for Robb's army, or learns strategy from Ned alongside Sansa. The possibilities are endless. Here's a wild thought. What if Sansa and Arya reunite earlier in this version of events? Can you picture these two as a team? Sansa with her political savvy and Arya with her, well, whatever skill she picks up on her journey. They could be an unstoppable duo, working together to secure the North's future. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Even with Ned alive, there's still danger lurking for the Stark girls. The Game of Thrones is never truly over, and new threats can emerge from unexpected places. What if someone targets them to get to Ned or Robb? Or what if they find themselves caught in the middle of a political scheme they don't fully understand? The big question is, how do Sansa and Arya's new paths impact the war and the future of the North? Do they become key players in their own right? Or do they work behind the scenes, influencing events in ways we might not immediately see? I don't know about you, but I can't help but think that these two sisters might just hold the key to the North's success. What do you think? How would you write Sansa and Arya's story in this alternate Westeros? Comment down below with your ideas. I bet some of you have some pretty wild theories. Lions cornered, the Lannisters' desperate moves. But what about the family that started this whole mess? The Lannisters are in hot water, and it's about to boil over. Their golden reputation is tarnished, their claim to the throne in jeopardy. What if I told you Tywin Lannister's next move could change the game entirely? Let's face it, the Lannisters aren't exactly in a great position. Cersei and Jaime's secret is out, and everyone knows about their complicated relationship. It's not a good look for the family that's supposed to be ruling the Seven Kingdoms. But here's the thing, the Lannisters aren't giving up without a fight. They've still got some tricks up their sleeves. First up, we've got Tywin Lannister. He's not called the Old Lion for nothing. He's smart, he's ruthless, and he's got a plan, or at least he's working on one. Tywin knows the North is a tough nut to crack. He even said, "The North is large and its people are hardened by winter. They will not fall easily." But that doesn't mean he won't try. What do you think Tywin's first move would be? I bet he would try to control the story. He's all about propaganda. Maybe he'd spread rumors about Ned Stark, try to make him look bad even after the trial by combat. It's a classic Tywin move. If you can't beat them on the battlefield, beat them in the court of public opinion. But Tywin's not the only Lannister we need to worry about. What about Cersei? She's not exactly known for her level-headed decisions. With her secret out, she might do something really crazy to keep power. And Joffrey, well, let's just say he's not handling the whole "maybe I'm not the rightful king" thing very well. The Lannisters still have one big advantage though: their gold. They could try to buy allies, hire sellswords, or even bribe their enemies. It's not honourable, but when has that ever stopped a Lannister? Here's a wild thought: what if Tywin tried to make a deal with Ned Stark? He might offer Ned a chance to return to the north in exchange for loyalty to Joffrey. It's a long shot, but Tywin's all about keeping the realm stable. Of course, whether Ned would accept that or not is another question entirely. But even with all of Tywin's scheming, there's something coming that not even he can predict. What do you think it could be? A new player entering the game? A threat from across the narrow sea? Or maybe something closer to home that the Lannisters never saw coming? I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see how this all plays out. What do you think the Lannisters' next move will be? Let us know in the comments. Your guess is as good as mine. Wow, we've really gone down a rabbit hole of what ifs, haven't we? Ned Stark's trial by combat could have turned the whole Game of Thrones on its head. Just think about it: the Starks in power, the Lannisters scrambling, and all those alliances shifting like sand. Who knows where the Iron Throne would end up? Maybe the North would win it all, with Robb and Ned leading a united kingdom. Or could someone unexpected swoop in and take advantage of the chaos? What about Daenerys and her dragons? Would they still play a part in this new Westeros? I don't know about you, but my head is spinning with possibilities. What do you think this alternate Westeros would look like? Would it be a better place, or just a different kind of mess? Comment down below with your wildest theories. I bet some of you have some pretty crazy ideas.